What's up guys, Matt the Maths Hero here, and I am looking at short division today with a brand new video. Let's check it out. Right, before we can start, we need to think about what division actually means. Well, if I pull this question up, 12 divided by 3, we will learn that we can talk about division in two different ways. We can talk about it as sharing. If I have 12 lollipops, I can share them evenly between my 3 friends, giving them a total of 4 each. So 12 divided by 3, 12 shared by 3 is 4. Or I can look at it as grouping. How many groups of 3 are there in 12? That's a slightly more advanced level. Well, let's have a think. There's one group of 3 and 3, 2 groups of 3 and 6, 3 groups of 3 and 9, and 4 groups of 3 in 12. So we can look at it in two different ways, sharing and grouping. Now the reason that a question like 12 divided by 3 is quite straightforward is because 12 divided by 3 is part of a number family. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. They are in the number families. But what happens if these questions get a little bit harder and they're not in number families? Let's have a question like 14 divided by 3. Well, we can try and share them. I've got my 14 lollipops and my 3 friends. I'm going to share them evenly. Gives them 4 each again with these 2 left over. Now these 2 left over are very important. I cannot share them evenly between my friends, so we have to leave it as a remainder. So 14 divided by 3 would be 4 remainder 2. If I try that with grouping, it would be the same thing. 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 even groups and 2 left over. Okay, 2 remaining. Okay, now that's pretty straightforward with small numbers. We can easily share our lollipops out. Might take a little while, but we can do it. And I can group because I know my times tables, okay? But what happens if we get a bigger question? Let's have a look at a green chili challenge. Let's have a look at 248 divided by 2. Now, I don't want to share out 248 lollipops. That's going to take me all day. And I don't want to have to go from my 2 times table all the way to 248. Again, that's going to take me a long time. So we need another method. This method is called the Busstop method. Now we call it the bus stop because it looks a little bit like a bus stop. Now we need to know, before we can start, we need to know where we are going to put our features, our parts of our question. So I'm going to put the dividend, which is the big number, the number we are trying to break up and share. I'm going to put that inside the bus stop. So I'm going to put my 248 inside my bus stop. Now I'm going to put my divisor on the outside, the small number, the one we are sharing the bigger number into. Okay, so my question now looks like this. How many 2's are there in 248? Okay, now before we can start actually solving this, let's think about our layout again. Let's put our hundreds, tens and units in to help us just understand what actually is happening, okay? Because we are going to start dividing along our bus stop, but I want us to understand exactly where our numbers are coming from and the actual real true value of our answer, okay? So, if we're going to look at this first part, 2 divided by 2, how many 2's are there in 2? Let's share it out. How many 2's are there in 2? Well, it's 1. We can share it evenly once. Okay, so how many 2's are there in 2? There are 1. Okay, but the question actually said, how many 2's are there in 200? And the answer is actually 100. Okay, so let's just keep that in the back of our minds just for our own understanding, okay? Now, the second part, how many 2's are there in 4? Well, if I share 4 between 2 people, I give them 2 each. So my answer for that section is 2. Last bit, how many 2's are there in 8? Well, the answer is 4, giving me a grand total of 124. Let's drag that back up to complete our question. 248 divided by 2 is 124. Great, green chili challenge, done. Okay, let's have a look where this can go. Let's have a look at a red chili challenge because they're not always going to be as easy as that. We could get complications as we're going to see now, okay? Let's have a look at 896 divided by 5. We're going to put our hundreds, tens and units up there just for our own understanding, but we're going to start in the same way. How many 5's are in 8? Okay, now let's go in our 5 times table. 5, 10. So we can't have 10. We've got one lot of 5, but then we've got 3 left over. Okay, let's have a look at that in sharing. If I have 8 and I try and share it evenly between 5, I give them all 1, but I've got 3 left over. Now I can't ignore this 3. I'm going to move it over into my next column and make my 9 a 39, okay? Because that 3 is actually worth 3 10s, okay? That's why it's good to understand our columns. Okay, let's look at my second part then. So how many 5s are there in 39? Let's go up in our 5 times table. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I can't use 40 because it's over 39, so let's come back. 35 goes 7 times. So I'm going to put 7 at the top there. But what have I got remaining? I've got 4 remaining. Okay, so I'm going to bring that 4 over into my next column. Okay, last bit says how many 5s are there in 46? Again, let's do the same thing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Can't go to 50, so I've got 9. What's the difference between 45 and 46? I've got 1 left over. So my answer is 179, remainder 1. 896 divided by 5 is 179, remainder 1. Okay, that's about as hard as short division you can go. That is a red chili challenge. So I'm going to put these 3 questions up on the board. Take your time, have a little go at them. Put your answers in the comment section below. Let's see if you get them right. If you do, fantastic. Let's move on. If not, take a little bit of time on this video and make sure you fully understand it before moving into our next video. Okay, so I'm going to put the answers up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, answers on the board, fantastic. Well done if you got them right. As I say, let's move into our next video then. If not, rewind, go back, see where you might have made a mistake and correct yourself, okay? It's all about making sure you've got a great understanding before moving into our next step. So what is our next step? We have been looking at short division today. A multi-digit number divided by a single-digit number. Well, long division, our next step, is going to be looking at a multi-digit number divided by a multi-digit number, okay? So if you're ready for that, check out our next video. Thanks very much, guys. I hope you've learned something today. Like and subscribe to this channel. It's very, very helpful. Thank you very much.